Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 106 of Psycho's Platters, or as Wax Museum jokingly said this week, the mighty Psycho. But you know what? I may hang on to that. I kind of like that. Fueled by coffee, as usual, Gloria Jeans, yum yum. And I have a new tour shirt to show you. Yeah, that's right. It's the Ace Frehley Space Invader tour shirt because Ace Frehley came to my town that I went to high school, McHenry, Illinois, over at the Fiesta Days Festival in early July. Missed it by a week. I'm not kidding you. I would have loved to have seen Ace play. My friends went off and said that he played great. Stephen Piercy from Rat was the opening act. I heard he did all right too. Um, he did a grudgingly meet and greet, so to speak, afterwards with the people. But I heard his handler was very, very rude. My friend who got me this shirt tried to get a picture of her husband and Steven, and the handler went like this and blocked her camera. I thought that was pretty dumbass move on their part. So this video pretty much here is all of the album finds that I picked up while I was in Chicago. This isn't the stuff from my collection I brought back. This is new stuff that I picked up at the flea market, the Goodwills, the Salvation Army, and the Half Price book outlet store and physical store. Let's get started. These first couple albums here all came from the Richmond flea market. I think they were either 50 cents or $1 each. I'm not entirely sure. Let's see here. How about we start off with one of my favorites. I finally got a decent copy of the Cowsills We Can Fly. This is the front, this is the back. Of course, this is on MGM. If I remember correctly, this is 1967. Beautiful stuff, but I'm telling you, every time I come across this, this seems butchered. Not this one, and I did really good on finding that. Then I ended up finding, and I thought this was kind of half cool, on Reprise, from Duke Ellington, Ellington 66, says the very great Duke Ellington Orchestra. Plus, plays the very great hits. They do things like All My Loving, I Want to Hold Your Hand. Yeah, Beatles stuff there. And then standards like Moon River, Satin Doll, things like that. I will show you. It is on the Steamboat. The cover's a little bit, but the record is great. Let's see. This one here, Neon from the Circle. For 50 cents, I really couldn't screw this up. The vinyl's great. Unfortunately, the back cover looked like it had some type of a promo sticker that somebody just decided to tear off, which kind of pissed me off. But this is definitely going to do until I can get a better copy. And then lastly, this is the first Archie's album that I have ever found. Honestly, I never find them. And I thought finding Everything's Archie from 1969 is their second album. Ron Dante and Company. Yes, it's got Sugar Sugar on it, with, of course, Tony Wine doing the background vocals. She would end up being she was an in-demand session singer back then also. And if I remember correctly, she also sings on Candida from Dawn. Yeah, so she was on there too. There's the front, there's the back. Yeah, you know Archie, all right. There's how that goes. Those were from the flea market. This one here, this one I thought was kind of cool. I found this at the Goodwill in McHenry. It was the only album I found. Go figure, finding that Morlocks 45, and then finding the Brill Cream Presents Sing Along with Connie Francis. I'm normally not a Connie Francis fan. She's cute. I would have dug her back in the 50s. I know that. But what was really neat about it is that this thing is in the best shape that I've actually seen this. You don't know how many copies of this Brill Cream album that I've come across in the last 2 years alone, and every one of them looked like they were stepped on by an elephant. Not this one. This one's beautiful. And by the way, if you didn't know anything about this, the Jordanaires sing backup. Yeah, Elvis's backing band and gospel group actually sings back on Connie Francis. Now, next thing here, let's see. We've got the Half Price book outlet. I picked up 3 from there. I've never seen this Righteous Brothers one. The Righteous Brothers standards. They do old-timey stuff like That Lucky Old Son, If I Ruled the World, My Darling Clementine. I'm a little afraid to listen to this, I'm not going to lie, but I've never seen a copy of this, and I love the Righteous Brothers. I think this is from 1968, if I remember correctly. This next one here, in The Shrink, even go figure, Mr. Terry Reid himself. He was the original choice for being the lead singer in Led Zeppelin. Yeah, this guy. I'll tell you, he's really, really good. I do like him. But it seems like poof, he disappeared after the late 1970s. This is from 1977 on the ABC label with the note. I'm not going to pull it out because it's a little tough to get out. There's the front, there's the back. Really glad to have this in my collection. A Seed of Memory, that's what it's called. You could barely see it in the titles, but I was happy to get that. Kansas fans? Are you Kansas fans out there? Well, how about this? I found this one, and I can't tell. It looks like somebody went and might have, yeah, they did kind of put a little bit of marker on this, but I don't care. For the price I paid for it, was worth it. Um, in the mid 80s, Steve Walsh, of course, he left Kansas in 1982. In the early portions of the recording of the Kansas album Vinyl Confessions, he couldn't deal with the Christian overtone theme lyrics, and so he decided he'd strike it out on his own. In 1980, of course, he did an album called Schemer Dreamer, which, if you can find that, good. I thought I heard it's on CD, but I know that this next one I'm going to show you, he cut 2 albums with a new band called Streets. That's right. This one from 1986, Crimes in Mind. This is on Atlantic, of course. That's the front. This is the back. In your lineup here, you have Steve Walsh, Mike Slamer. Mike Slamer would end up in another band too, for the life of me, but it's escaping me. And Billy Greer, of course, would jump to Kansas along with Steve Walsh when they pretty much reunited in late '85 with them. Early '86, something like that, okay? Because that's when the Power album came out on MCA. But like I said, I've seen the first one, and I've never seen the second one. So that I thought was pretty cool indeed. All right, these ones here, I ended up Salvation Army. I paid 50 cents a piece for these. I thought this was cool. I've never come across any Marianne Faithfull albums. This one here, mid-1960s on the Red Mono London label. This is the front. This is the back. Go Away from My World is the name of the title. It shows pictures of a bunch of different people here. It says here, a lighter moment with Big Jim Sullivan. Big Jim Sullivan was in the Big Three. He was a big session guitar player as well. You know, I heard him and Jimmy Page were buds at one point or another during the session stuff here. Also here, it says here, starting the next number with John Mark. Could that be John Mark of the Mark Almond Band? Not entirely sure. That could be. And then, of course, listening to the playback, Gus Dudgeon. Dudgeon was later involved with Elton John. So, I mean, you know, I could have sworn I thought one of the Marianne Faithfull has either a Mick involvement briefly or something. Then this next one, which I found was pretty cool, Marianne Faithfull, Faithful Forever, you know, from shortly after that. You know, I still think it's kind of cool. She's got a nice voice. She does. But I will tell you this. If you've seen the Rolling Stones film Rock and Roll Circus, she's kind of out of place, isn't she? If you've seen the movie, you're going to know what I'm talking about. She really just seems out of place in that whole mess. I never had this Poco album from the inside. This is on Epic, and it's gatefold. The gatefold kind of goes like this with your back here. I love early Poco. I do. It's on of course, your yellow Epic. All right, you're talking about Richie Fury and Tim Schmidt and company in this lineup. Poco should have gotten a lot more recognition. And I hate to admit this, but in a way, the Eagles stole their thunder. I'm sorry, they did. I'm a huge Eagles fan, don't get me wrong, but it seemed like Eagles got the focus. These guys ended up not getting such the focus. This one was kind of goofy. I like finding celebrity records from time to time. This one, Peter Ustinov does the Grand Prix of Gibraltar on Orpheum. I'm like, what the hell is this? Here's the front, here's the back. I knew he was into racing and all, but this is in beautiful shape. I have no clue what what year this is. Um, all right, let's see here. These last ones, 99 cents a piece. Couldn't screw this up. Finally got a decent copy of the Cufflinks 1970 album Tracy, another Ron Dante. Yeah, Ron Dante did vocals for this too. The first album, actually. Cufflinks did a second album, but by the time the second album started, there was negotiation breakdowns. It had to do with percentages and money and stuff like that. So they wiped his vocals away and got somebody else. Here's the front, there's the back. This happens to be, of course, on Decca. Beautiful color bar Decca. This is the best shape I've seen this album in at least a couple of years. Now, here's some unknown stuff, but it's kind of cool. From 1979, Hey World from Roadmaster. You're talking power pop. This was recorded in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, near my neck of the woods. There's the front, there's the back. That's from 1979. From 1984, some Canadian hair metal, Helix. Yeah, I like Helix. Helix pretty much didn't end up getting really even started to be well known till that Iron Eagle soundtrack. Remember watching the Iron Eagle and you hear him going, too late? Anyways, I can't sing it anyway. So, and then of course, Little Steven and the Disciples of Soul. This is from 1984. This is the band, the band that he did after Little Steven left Bruce Springsteen shortly before doing the Born in the USA album. This one here comes with, I thought this was half interesting. It's a lyric poster. Shows him. Kind of very great shape for these. Also in his band, Dino Danelli and Gene Bouvier from the Plasmatics. Yeah, when the Plasmatics broke up, this is where the heck he ended up going for several years before linking up sort of with Kiss on and off, writing things. This last one, kind of cool in my opinion. Unknown though, Nolan the Red Wedge. This is from 1982 on Scotti Brothers. Now I know you're like, well, why the hell did you get this, Paul? Well, when you saw that it said for people that worked on this album, Tom Mooney, who of course was Mooney from Nas, he plays drums on this. You have Ricky Phillips, who was in the Babies and, of course, Styx and Bad English. He plays the bass on this. And Frankie Banelli, yeah, shortly before Quiet Riot got big, months before Metal Health, he plays on this. And Mitchell Froome, which if I remember correctly, it's either, I think it's Elvis Costello, he had some connection with that. So kind of weird. I can't wait to listen to this. Here's the front, here's the back. This is a gold stamped promo. Two last ones I'll mention really quick. I finally got a 1968 stereo copy of Birds and Bees and Monkeys in beautiful shape. Half-price books, $5.99. Front, the back, beautiful. Now I just need the mono copy. And lastly, hopefully to meet Jerry Yester and get him to sign this, I finally found a copy for $2.99 of Revolution 69, The Lovin' Spoonful, featuring Joe Butler. But it's really Joe Butler, Steve Boone, and Jerry Yester, and a bunch of session people. Amazing Air is a fantastic track. All right, guys, I know I'm running really, really speedy here. Wax Museum with Ronnie Dark and Night Owl Lounge. Like them on Facebook. Listen to them Sunday night, 6 to 9 p.m. and 9 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thrifty Music Collectors Group, Tim Smith and Company. Shindig Magazine, the best damn English magazine around, period. And, of course, YouTube Vinyl Community. Without them, I wouldn't be able to do this. And I love you guys. Stay tuned. Take care. God bless. See you guys next time around.